What's up and good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video. Today should be a pretty interesting one, and it's already started off very interesting. We're gonna be using my Dmaxryno dump trailer today, and well, as you can see, I have been using this to just throw a bunch of trash in. I mean, you saw that in previous videos, and I have not had time to go to the dump, which sucks because I have to unload all of this today to be able to use the trailer, because we're gonna be taking the Mini X into town over to the restaurant project. And well, obviously we can't do that with all this trash, and I don't have time today to go to the dump first, then come back here. So we're just gonna have to dump this in a pile somewhere. Oh, I hate doing that. I hate doing things twice. Now, to make things a little more interesting, as you guys know, I have like a bunch of wireless setups on this trailer, and all of those draw just a little bit of power when not in use. And eventually that'll drain the battery completely down unless I pull the fuses, right? That fuse, and then there's another fuse on here somewhere. Well, I failed to pull the fuses last time, and so this thing drained it super low. So not using my full brain power. I plugged it in last night knowing I'm gonna be eating it today. But as you guys know, with batteries, if they get below a certain threshold, even the chargers, like, they're not gonna kick on, right? The charger thinks, like, especially these smart chargers, like, they won't kick on if the battery's below a certain threshold. And well, guess what happened? I'm over here sleeping away last night thinking this thing's charging up. I come out this morning, it's not charged up because the battery was too low. So thankfully I found my no-code jump box, was able to get it hooked up to the truck by basically jumping that battery, and it gives us the hydraulic controls here. The only thing that worries me is, in my experience, I have electric over hydraulic brakes. I don't have brakes if I don't have battery. So this thing might be living on here today to get us into town as my supplement battery to give me some brakes, because it is all downhill to get into town. And well, you know, not that I don't have faith in the 6.0, but you know, it's not the brakes on an F450. The Mini X is all nice and warmed up, and now my plan was to do, again, all of this last night, have the Mini X loaded up. I hate doing this stuff super early in the morning. I'd rather get it all done the night before, but again, with a dead battery on the trailer, and I couldn't find my jump box yesterday, none of this was gonna happen. I'm bringing the excavator over to the dumpster or my attachment storage yard. We got attachments everywhere right here. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can in the dumpster. Obviously, a lot of that stuff is full sheets of plywood, full like 10-foot 2x4s. Those aren't going in without getting cut up. We just don't have time today, and oh, the dumpster's not that empty. This sucks, you know, we spent so much time cleaning up the property, and now we're just gonna make a big old mess right in like the worst spot, you know, right? The pool hangout area and all that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Making money comes first. Let's get some of this unloaded. Some of the stuff, like obviously those pallets aren't going in. Pallets, I gotta get my deposit back on, so we're gonna keep those. Set those over here. Having the excavator is nice for stuff like this. All right, that sheet of plywood's kinda gonna be in the way. It's not a bad sheet of plywood. I like to use these where, you know, projects we got to bring the excavator into, and we don't want to mar up concrete or anything like that. I'm trying to grab this without grabbing all of the wire underneath. Oh, we got some wire. And we got a bunch of wire. All right, well. We got a bunch of wire and a rodent trap. Let's see if we can put the wire and the rodent trap in the dumpster, but leave the plywood out. I'd call that a success. We'll push that down a little bit. There we go. All right, now we got a big old metal table. Well, the top of the table, the legs are in there as well. Let's see if we can just stand this. That's probably got to go against the back. God forbid we overload the dumpster a little bit, we get charged a ton of money. Let's get the hose down in there. All that crap. I mean, I gotta say, we did pretty good with the excavator. I don't want to try and like grab some of the stuff that I can't see, because I don't want to put big old dings in the side of my trailer with those gnarly teeth, which if anybody's waiting for a teeth update, I have not swapped those out. Those are the first ones I put on, and they still got plenty of life left in them. So for all the naysayers that are like, oh, those teeth are gonna suck, they're gonna wear out super quick, I've used the crap out of them, and they're still going strong. Surprised, y'all. I did not think we were gonna get the majority of this whole trailer in that one dumpster. All I left out was some of this longer big stuff that I could cut up, and really I could get in here if I wanted to. I'm gonna use the bucket to smush all that down, but I'm pretty happy. I did stick my hand in a bunch of maggots right there. They're not really moving very much, but they definitely squished. That was pretty disgusting. I don't know what was in here. I think it was like an old soda can or something that they were feeding off of. But yeah, that was gross. Let's see, hopefully it all compacts below the lid. I think we're doing pretty good. There we go, there we go. We are surprisingly making really good time this morning, so that's good. And get her loaded up real quick here. I can turn the cab, make sure we are nice and lined up. Coming on straight to the ramps. And as we go up, kick the cab back over. Pull her right on in. Okay, we are loaded up. We are strapped down. I'm not gonna put the jump box on the battery right now because those clips are just gonna pop off when we're going down the dirt road. So we'll see if the brakes work. But once we get off the dirt road, I'm gonna clip that thing back up just so we have some extra juice to the battery for the brakes. I know the truck should be enough to power the brakes, but in my experience, that's not necessarily true. Well, so far so good. We're still on the dirt road, but as you will see, we do have brakes and brake power back there. All right, I take that back. We have no brakes. Check this out. So obviously it's registering a number there, but if I pull this lever, I have it set to 8. So the truck is moving, you can see out the window there. I lock that bad boy up at 8 and we are still rolling because we have no trailer brakes. Again guys, I don't know, everybody says the truck should do it. Truck doesn't do it. So we're gonna hook up that battery jump box and it's a lot of downhill. So, luckily it's in the beginning of the trip, so if the jump box dies, like midway through the trip, it's all pretty flat from there on out. And then as soon as I get to the job site, I will be plugging the trailer in. All right. Well, hopefully these things stay on. I'm actually probably gonna expose these ones. These will get a better shot at these staying on. There we go. You bite that good. Oh, you're not gonna fit. No. I don't know if the lid's gonna hit that or not. It's gonna be close. There we go. What do we got? 11.7 volts. Whatever, that'll work. But I think with that on, it also allows the truck to charge the battery because again, we're not below that threshold. We're gonna roll forward. There we go. That's more like it. Rolling forward and brakes. There we go. All right. Not gonna do that too many. Let's go. Let's go before the battery dies. Oh, what a dumb mission we are on today. Let me tell you. We're gonna do a couple of sketchy things with my excavator today. Well, the second one, I don't know. It might not be sketchy. The guys at the Bobcat dealer said it might be sketchy, so we'll explain here in a second when we get to the job site, if we make it without issues. Man, am I glad I decided to check. So right on the other side of that hill is the steepest grade we are gonna encounter today. And I was like, man, I feel like the brakes have loosened up a little bit. And sure enough, we are back to, look at that, we're still rolling, having no brakes. So hopefully that just means, we went through all the windy roads. So hopefully that just means the jump box came off, but we're gonna find out right now. No, maybe the jump box shut off. No, jump box is on, critically low, or there's an error. Hold on, let's see, let's do a little reset. Press that button. And then we clip her back on. All right, we should be good to go there then. Gotta say, not my best of ideas, but we got work to do, so there's only so much we can do today. Oh, geez, and the truck is falling apart. Man, what an interesting day today has been so far. There we go, yep, you stay there. And all right, we are back to stopping. We just have to get down this hill. After that, I mean, it's not sketchy, but it's a lot less sketchy. And for the batteries on this thing to charge, I think I'm gonna need the jump box hooked up to it to trick the charger into thinking there's enough voltage to safely charge. And we are coming down the hill. Alrighty, whew, we made it down the hill. I think we're gonna be in the clear, guys. I think we're gonna be in the clear. Well, guys, we safely made it, and we still had some braking power right as I pulled up right now, so that's good. Unfortunately, however, though, let's see, Dave saved me this little spot. I guess we can move his van, but we've got this brewery truck in the way, so we're gonna need this whole curb line right here to park and unload. As my good buddy Dave would say, just our luck, right as we pull up, the entire dang near curb empties out. and we got some primo parking now. Just our luck, Dave.
You might want to check the oil on this.
Dude, yeah, the van shut off. All right.
I'm always having a hard time with that.
Oh, also, we got this open. I'm guessing that's your transmission one. That one was popped out.
Yeah, I'll keep that one out.
Just keep it out a little bit. All right.
Just a little bit, you know.
There you go, buddy.
Now,
Let's see what we got in this thing.
all right, so we put this back in the hole. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Now look.
Yep.
Okay, this is how it looks.
Yep, flip it over. Is there anything, are you riding on the other side? Yeah, yep, there we go.
Yeah, okay.
So we want to be in the crosshatch realm.
Okay.
All right.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay. Well, she burns a little oil, you know?
Hey, man.
She does.
14 years old.
All right.
You don't need to wait.
You gotta say a prayer.
Okay. Oh, you're golden, boy. You got way too much in there.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, oil, it ain't out of oil.
Yeah.
Better too much than not enough, right?
Maybe.
You aren't going to be able to hear me very well, but meanwhile, the guys are back inside breaking out the concrete for those footings. There is not going to be a whole lot of concrete left in this whole foundation, that's for sure. All right, we'll get the Mini X unloaded. Now, I sent Paparino to the Bobcat dealership to pick us up a 36-inch bucket. Everybody's gone crazy over the years saying I need a bigger bucket for this thing, and you're right, I need a multitude of buckets, but buckets got ungodly expensive. A 12-inch bucket's about $1,200, which is crazy to me. And I would love a 3-foot grading bucket, albeit it's a little big for this machine, but you know, for loose materials, it would be great, but you know, that's like $1,800 or more. So I just haven't bought them. You know, I've made do, and this machine has made me a good amount of money with just that one 16-inch bucket that I own. But today we're gonna be doing a lot of material exporting, and for that, I want a bigger bucket. We were going to rent a skid steer for this project, but they're about $900 a day now if you factor in pickup and drop off. While I could go get them with my truck and trailer, my time is better suited here versus going all the way to the Bobcat dealership and yada yada, even though Paparino's doing that today. But he would have to go get my trailer. He doesn't like towing stuff, so it would just be, yeah, there'd be a lot going on there. So we're gonna make do with what we got. We're gonna export a lot of material, hopefully with this excavator. Now, when I called them up to get a 3-foot bucket, they're like, we don't really recommend a 3-foot bucket for your machine. If you curl back too far, you have a chance of bending the crap out of that hydraulic cylinder, or this one right here, actually. So I'm comfortable if I'm operating it with the fact that I can do this safely without damaging my machine. If anybody else was doing it, that would make me a little bit nervous. Now here's the thing. This video is gonna be filmed in a sequence. Timelines might not make sense in this video. You still see Dave in his van, but by the time this video comes out, Dave will have his new van because we are also going to pick that up later today. And Paparino is probably gonna be here by the time the dump truck shows up for us to export a lot of this dirt. So it might be Paparino and the Mini X, which makes me a little bit nervous. So we're supposed to get Dave's van a couple of days ago. That didn't work out. There was delays to the shipping and everything. So anyway, everything is just piling onto today. So around the time the dump truck's gonna be free to show up here, we're gonna be going to get Dave's van. Paparino might be in the excavator. I don't know what exactly all is gonna happen, but it's gonna get pretty chaotic here. Alrighty, so Paparino has arrived. That's a big bucket for this little machine right there. I'm gonna set my bucket over here for now. Thankfully we have the Bobcat exchange, so we don't have to get out. We'll undo the pins. There we go. She is released. Just set that right there. Then of course, we've got traffic in the alley, so we're not gonna get a straight shot at this, and we don't want to hit the bedsides of Paparino's truck. Alrighty guys, let's get this old girl hooked up. Try to not damage anything. Probably just hook it and get it out of here first. Then we'll worry about getting the pins in. There we go. Feeling better about that. Doesn't look that big once it's on the machine. We'll get that tarp pulled off.
Yeah.
And then see if we can run, I don't know how long that power cable is, but if we can run it.
What, like over?
Or back that way and around.
Yeah.
Like just way away from, I don't want to hit it. That's an expensive cable. So my goal is to make this as efficient as possible. Again, being that we're not using a skid steer to load this dump truck, we're using an excavator, which at the big material yards, you know, a lot of times they're loading stuff with excavators. Obviously they are way bigger than me. The buckets are like the size of my excavator. But I think what I want to do is I want to pull as much dirt as I can this way, build me a little pad right here to sit on. Then I'm up high, and I can just bring it over right into the dump truck. I like being up higher. Obviously the excavator will reach the dump truck, but the higher I sit up on a pad, the better and cleaner I can load. Alrighty guys, let's see how she does with the old big boy bucket on there. Come over here and try to make my pad. All of that dirt is staying. That's the good dirt I brought in a long time, and clearly you can see a long time ago by how many weeds are growing on it. Let's see what happens. This dirt sucks. It is super wet and heavy, but no big deal for the excavator. So one of the things they warned about is you can damage your excavator with how big this bucket is on such a small machine. You could end up hitting one of your hydraulic cylinders. So I'm gonna be careful about that, but if I have to leave here shortly, because well, the dump truck guy, that this is gonna be his first job I was gonna have him haul dirt for me for, already pawned it off onto another guy. And like now just totally screwed up all of my plans. The other guy didn't have a place to dump it. He finally found a place to dump it. Like this is just, I hate stuff like that. If I set up work for you, don't pawn it off onto somebody else. Like we had everything scheduled for today, which was already screwing up my schedule, but today was gonna work for him. And then now like everything just got thrown all kinds of crazy. So we got a new guy coming. I have no idea who this guy is, but I guess we'll see. So my goal is to not mix this stuff if I don't have to. I would like to get it all broken up though, because again, this stuff clumps together. Like, oh, it is miserable stuff to work with. But I think from about right where I'm digging right now, if we get us a good pad built, we can load his truck from there and pretty much reach all the dirt. All right, let's go 4x4ing up onto my pile. There we go. I'm liking this, I'm liking this. I'm gonna do a little test run before he gets here. Let's do a somewhat full load. Oh, that stuff is sticky. And there goes the door. I don't know guys, this is kind of heavy. Let's see, we ain't close to the power lines. Are we gonna be able to reach his truck? It's gonna be interesting. Now I'm trying to get this all set up in case I can't be here. Papa Rhino will have like the perfect spot to load from. He hates when these things get tippy, he freaks out. It's not a fun experience, but if you don't know the limitations, you definitely feel like you're gonna go over. And then you can see it's a perfect day for this because these guys were absolutely running out of room. And they're having to start dumping in this little aisleway that we had separating the two dirt piles, the good from the bad. We'll say this size bucket would definitely come in handy for a lot of the dirt moving we do at the ranch. It's not gonna break through the real hard dirt, but for all the loose material, kind of enjoying this. Alrighty y'all, looks like my truck has shown up. Assuming this is mine or I'm just directing somebody else's dump truck. I don't know who this guy is, but let's see. I'm guessing this is him. Alrighty, so we've got a full truck. Looks like we're gonna take about a load and 3/4 out of here. I gotta say, I'm glad I had my pile because you can see the sides on this truck are super, super tall. So I don't know how we're gonna do it once I have to load the pile that I was sitting on top of, but it's gonna be a little sketchy to load this. So he's gonna take this load today and then come back tomorrow for the second load. Just works out better timing wise. I have to leave anyway. It's a good amount of dirt. this truck can hold a lot. Again, these are some big old sides on this thing. Okay guys, we are back. Ooh, this camera a little dirty. There we go, clean that off right there. We need one more car to move. I mean, I could probably wedge the truck and trailer in, but we're gonna wait for that car to move before we park this morning. Come inside, give you guys a little update. The dump truck driver is on his way back, so we should get another load out of here. It's gonna get interesting though, how we're gonna load him. Well, I think I got an idea. So Abel's inside right here. We've got all the rebar. We're gonna be doweling in for all of these footings and tying the rebar. So over here, the existing footing that this wall sits on it's actually really small, but it's about right there. And what they want us to do is they want us to dowel in, which basically we're going to drill in and inset rebar into the old footing to tie the old footing to the new footing. So that's gonna be happening today. Then these footings are gonna be getting all of their rebar. And again, basically what we're doing is we're going as far as we can up until the point of us needing an inspection, because the permit just got delayed again. Like, it keeps getting delayed a couple days. So we're doing our best to stay busy and make progress, but man, would we be moving a lot faster if this dang permit was finalized and we stopped getting little hiccups. Just got word from the dump truck driver. He's about 20 minutes out. I'll show you one of my favorite tools, and that is our hydraulic or electric hydraulic rebar cutter. You can see just how easy it makes cutting rebar. Not like the old days of having the big rebar cutter bender where you got like two guys hanging off of it because it's got dull blades and it just will not cut through. We actually have two electric hydraulic rebar cutters. We have a larger one that'll cut up to, I think, number 6 or number 8. It'll cut some pretty hefty rebar. This one, I think number 5 is about where it tops out, but it's much lighter. So we usually bring this one to the job sites instead of the big one that we have. But check out how much groundwater is seeping through here. At first we thought it was the sewer system leaking somewhere, but there is a ton of groundwater in here. The reason we know it's not is because the building next door, they're actually renovating and putting in a restaurant as well, and they have the same issue. They're dealing with the same groundwater, just kind of bubbling its way up. What does that mean in terms of foundations? Well, the engineers have already taken this into account when they spec'd out our footings and all the stuff that we are doing that is going to structurally support the building. It's just one of those things. I mean, if you guys build in Florida and all those other states, you probably deal with this a lot more than we do. Truck is back. Let's go for round 2. Things are going to get interesting. Oh, gee, this is getting chaos out there, Damien. I'm gonna have to get off this pile. I'm gonna try to get to that pile. Okay. So I'm gonna see what I can reach, and I might have to just have you readjust for that. All right. So, well, you know, everybody knows Ryan loses his head mounts all the time, and well, I lost my head mount somehow again. I don't understand what's going on here. So again, with this big old bucket, I can't fully load it because I have to come up so high. I have to curl the bucket so far back that I would just lose half the load if I did that. You guys can see that. I have no idea what you can see, but it's pretty sketchy. You know, considering I don't want to hit the side of this guy's box. So I'm trying to be gentle. And again, we're on like a 4-foot pad. So imagine if I was flat on the ground, which he claims guys load him with excavators this size flat on the ground. I'm sure it's possible, but you're gonna have a pretty empty bucket if you're doing that. Man, am I glad we had this second pile of dirt that is going to stay, because without being able to sit on top of this thing, I don't know how we'd be dumping this very well, but we've got a pretty full load there. Gonna see if we can tarp it now, unless he wants us to get up there and spread it out, but I think it's gonna do pretty good here with this tarp. It's not quite as nice as the Diamond C tarp, but you know, hey, it works. Now, one of the joys of a rental bucket is we got to get this thing spotless and in this super sticky dirt slash clay. Man, it is, 3 of us have been working on that bucket for solid like 15 minutes. At that point, it might have been cheaper just to eat the cleaning fee from the rental company. If that was my bucket, it would end up back at the ranch. And at some point, digging through the hard stuff, the sticky stuff would come off. But we're gonna try to get this back or load it back in Paparano's truck right now. Did a pretty good job though, I gotta say. I mean, we're looking pretty clean. I'm gonna grade this out a little bit better. Only a little bit got mixed in with the pile that I'm sitting on top of, but it's all like the crumbly stuff, so it's not gonna be bad. We'll be able to put that back in the plumbing trenches. It was all the big hefty chunks of clay that I'm so glad to see out of here. Okay, now we gotta get the dump trailer loaded up, trying to find a good spot to park her here. The only space we had was around the temp power pole to pile up all the concrete. It's not exactly the best spot to be grabbing stuff with the Mini X. We're probably gonna be doing more than I would like by hand, but you gotta do what you gotta do to get her done and try to make it to the the dump in time. Alrighty guys, so we didn't take all of the concrete out that I would have liked to, but we got probably about 95% of it. There's gonna be a ton more concrete loads coming out of here. We still gotta tear down, you know, a couple of concrete walls, brick walls. So I'm just gonna call this one load for today to come out of here. And then we'll come back, we'll grab the Mini X and get it out of here as well. I don't wanna leave it here over the weekend. We'll see, it's a decently heavy load. I feel like the 6.0 is hauled heavier, but it's pretty hefty back there. And there's a decent amount of river rock mixed in that I tried to hide. I don't know if the recycling place is gonna get all butthurt about it, but a lot of times these guys get butthurt about anything other than pure fine concrete. And then they'll call it a trash load. They charge you like quadruple for it, but then they still have you put it in the spot where the crusher is gonna crush it the exact same way that they would have a regular concrete. I got a little angry last time when they tried to make me do that. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna dump this where the trash is. If you guys wanna call it trash, you guys can sort it with the trash. Alrighty, we have made it to the dump. The old 6.0 did pretty good. A little heavy back there on the stopping, but you know, these electric over hydraulic brakes is the way to go. They're hydraulic disc brakes. Compared to my last trailer, which was just electric drum brakes, that was always a lot sketchier in terms of stopping, and like the brakes heated up a lot quicker and you burn out your brakes, you'd smell your brakes. On this trailer, no issues at all. So we're currently in line. Those of you that have been around the channel a while, you know this is where I come to dump my concrete. They have one scale for in and out. So basically we have to wait in line. We're gonna go on the scale on our way in, do our loop, dump, then we have to wait on our way out, because again, there's only one scale. You would think they'd have a scale for the ins and a scale for the outs, because that would make a lot of sense, but they only have one. So like this guy just weighed himself on his way out, then one guy coming in is gonna weigh, then we gotta wait for the next guy coming out, then one's gotta go in. All right, so the scale showed 20,100 pounds. We'll see, we'll do some math here. See how much concrete we got back there, but man, this yard is tight. Pretty sweet little shear attachment there. Chop up some tires. God, this place is a mess. Now, normally I hate coming to these places where you can't drive around people and you get stuck behind somebody that doesn't have a dump trailer and they're unloading by hand. This guy's got a dump trailer. Oh, there it goes, finally. It took him about like, 10 minutes to set up to start dump. Now, I will say, guys, I'm very upset. My wireless controller that we programmed, my wireless controller that we got to wirelessly dump this thing, stopped working. And I never even got to use it at the dump. There might be something, it might be the actual controller itself, might be a wiring thing. I'm not sure, I haven't had time to look at it. But it would have been ideal for a day like today. Roll in, dump real quick. I'm already dumping before I get out of the truck. Like that was the whole reason I wanted that. Now I'm gonna be like one of these guys. I gotta get out. I gotta stand there by my toolbox, holding down the wired button. There's no way to live. And if there's ever a spot you're gonna get flat tires, it is this place. It makes me nervous every single time I come here. Especially when we brought the 450, because those tires are not cheap. Let's see, maybe this thing just started working again on its own. Oh, it does. All right,
All right, maybe I was just having a bad day. Maybe it was just having a bad day. Okay, check this out then. We're gonna double up on the remotes here. We're gonna do the tarp, because the tarp comes with its own wireless remote. We'll do a little tarp action while we open the back gate. Got a lot of remotes in my hands and a GoPro. Not ideal. Look at that though. Tarp going down, back gate's open. I'm gonna have to pull forward a little bit though. I don't know if yeah, we're not gonna get that open enough. Watch your toes, watch your toes. Look at that, we can dump it now completely wirelessly. And from inside the truck, we can now pull forward, get the full load out, start bringing the box down. I mean, it's just, this is the way to go. You're not tethered to standing right next to your toolbox like we were previously with the wired remote. Now, while I'm pulling up to do all the other crap I gotta do here, I can have the box coming back down. This is not the fastest, it's not a power down, right? Look at that sweet new Volvo they got. A wheeled excavator with some kind of trommel drum attachment. I don't really know what that attachment is, but can't get another scale though. You know, that would be too much. And then we gotta back all the way out of here because, well, from the concrete area, you can't get back in line for the other scales. So we gotta back all the way back to where we came from and get lined up to get in line. This place looks like a third world country over here where a bomb went off. I'm super stoked on how much more efficient it is having the wireless remote, but I've been in line for like 15 minutes now. Trying to get out of here. There's one car in front of me. I don't know what's going on the scales. I can't see over there. All right, well, we actually weren't that heavy. We were 11,500 pounds, which honestly is like right about capacity for this trailer. It is a 14,900 pound gross weight trailer. The trailer weighs about 4,700 pounds, so we're a little bit over that. But the reason I like my Diamond C so much is because I know I'm gonna overload it, and it's built to handle it. It's not gonna fall apart like a cheaper trailer would if I overloaded it as much as I do. I've had this thing way heavier, and this thing handles it beautifully. Alrighty, y'all, we are all cleaned up back here. We finally have a yard back. We have some parking back, and then once we actually put this back in to all of the plumbing trenches to bring those up to grade, we'll have like 2 or 3 parking spots, which will be pretty sweet back here. And then once this wall comes down, we lose this bracing. We are storing a bunch of crap here though that I wish would get out of here, but some of it's for some of the other restaurants that we built and they want to store their stuff here. It's all the same owner, so I don't think they're ever going to use those again. It's their building, so they can store here what they want. Alrighty, y'all, got the Mini X all loaded up. We are pretty much ready to wrap up. It's always fun when there's equipment involved. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now that you do not miss out on any future content. Don't forget to give this video a like, a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforitapparel.com because if there's anything you want in this life, you gotta be willing to work for it. You guys are the best. I gotta go see if I can find my GoPro head mount. I'm out.
Damn. Yeah.